So I was putting away some stuff and I just came across these pressed pennies that my mom sent me. And this one I thought was hilarious because I picked it up and as you can see, it's not pressed. There's nothing on this penny. And I write on the back of all of my pressed pennies like what they are. This one is because my mom didn't use the machine correctly. And if you know like press penny machines, you put your penny in your 50 cents. Before you push the penny in, or before you push the change in, you have to select your design. And then you push the money in and then you press it. So she pushed the money in before she selected the design. So when it went in, it was between designs. So she got a flat pressed penny. She essentially paid 50 cents to smush her penny. But I think that is just too funny. Like, that's so something my mom would do. And she sent it to me anyway. But it just made me laugh. And I just thought it was something funny to share with you guys. Okay. Hi friends, welcome to episode 62 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nerdbird. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. I really do appreciate it. I'm coming to you today from inside my home in Central Florida, and today is Thursday, November 22nd, aka US Thanksgiving. So, couple like side notes. If there's any camera shake, it's because I'm sitting on my bed. I set up all of my podcasty things outside too close to sunset, and the sun was just like, I'm done. Nighttime. So all the mosquitoes and their aunties and uncles came out, and I was run back inside. And second note is my family is currently hanging out in the living room waiting for dinner to be finished. So I figure I should be able to squeeze in a quick podcast episode while we wait for dinner to be finished, because I'm not a cookie kind of person. I used to be really into baking, but I've kind of lost that like interest over the past couple years. I do want to get back into it because I really did enjoy baking and making cakes and pies and all of that stuff. Anything that I can mix, like that one of the first instructions is mix like 2 cups of sugar and a whole stick of butter. I'm there. I'm here for it. Give me all the sugar and the butter. Thumbs up. But I think that was everything that I wanted to say. Just like giving you heads up and stuff. So if my dog randomly starts barking like somebody is chasing her and she's running for her life, it's because more family / friends has come to the house. Yes, I think that's everything. All that being said, if you're a new viewer, welcome. This episode might be a little bit crazy, but welcome anyway. If you're a returning viewer, you probably have experienced an episode this crazy before, so there you go. And I think that's everything. So let's get right into the craftiness. So my first finished object that I had, I was wearing earlier because, I wanted to be like, oh, I'm wearing my finished object on the podcast, but it got too hot and I couldn't handle it. So I took it off and I put on this shirt, which I feel like is like the equivalent level of awesome. Like, thing I made, something with Grinch on it. So this is my first finished object. I'm calling it finished because I think I want to keep it with short sleeves. There's no ends woven in because, as we know, that's how I roll. And it's still rolled up because I just had it on and I just snatched it off. But this is my second Harvest Moon pullover. I decided to just go with the 2 colors, the gold and the blue. And I really like the length. The sleeves, they're just like little cap sleeves. This is actually like the length of sleeve that you get by not adding anything after you separate for the sleeves. So the only thing that I added was just 2 rows. Yeah, 2 rows of 1x1 rib along like the edge just to finish it. And yeah, that's my sweater. One thing though, and you can really see it in this light, this like bulgy bit right here, I want to play around with the stitch counts to see how I can get rid of that. But we'll see. Who knows? One of the biggest concerns that I had with this pattern and making the second iteration of it was the traveling seam. So I'm just gonna hold it flat like this. Let me hold it. I'm gonna fold it along one of the rows so that you guys can see how that seam traveled. Okay. Oh yeah. So in the yellow part, this is when I was joining, I was just doing like a regular join, like join to the turning chain, chain 3, keep on crocheting your merry little way, and it traveled like that. When I went to the blue part, I was doing, I'll put a link, I'll try to remember to put a link to the video that I used to try to straighten out the seam, and it straightened it really, really well. I think it might still be traveling a little bit, but it definitely is more straight than the original one. So the only difference, or the only thing different that I was doing was up here, you had a turning chain of 3, you crochet around, or double crochet US terms. You're crocheting around, you join to the third chain, yeah, the third chain of the turning chain, chain up 3 again, you know, as you normally would. Like not crocheting into the base of the chain 3. In the blue section, and what this other lady did to straighten out the seam, all the way through her video she was saying it was because she was because of where she was joining, but like I said last episode, I don't think that's really what was happening, because I was essentially joining in the same place she was joining. The only difference is when she was joining, when she got to the end of her row, she would slip stitch into the turning chain. Instead of immediately doing a chain 3, she did a single crochet into the top of that turning chain, and then chain 2, and then went around. So essentially, instead of the join going like this, the join is going like this. And that push over that the single crochet made counteracts the natural lean that the joining creates. I hope that made sense. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. It's pretty much done. Should I keep it with short sleeves? What say you? I think I might keep it with short sleeves because Florida, and because my other Harvest Moon pullover is long sleeved already. So yeah, excited about it. This is made out of Lion Brand woolies, and if y'all remember when I first started this sweater, I was like, oh, I'm going to use this yarn so I can use it out of my stash and blah 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 blah. And then I had to buy yarn to complete the sweater, and look what I'm left with, an entire skein of yarn. I'm back where I started. Story of my life, y'all. Story of my crafty life. So that's everything for the Harvest Moon pullover. My next my next finished object is my second chicken leg sock. So I was calling these the chicken leg socks because they're ribbed, so when they're not on a blocker, they kind of look like they were made for like skinny chicken legs, i.e. chicken legs. I'm only able to show you one because I can't find the first one. But at Scout's honor, this is the second sock. It really is. But I have no idea where that first sock disappeared off to. I'm a little bit irritated about it because I really want to wear these. Like, these are so much fun, right? This yarn is Patton's Croy socks in the Starburst stripes colorway. Starburst, Sunburst. One of them bursts. Colorway. And it's like so much fun. And I really want to wear these socks. I just need to figure out where the first one disappeared off to. I really don't know. Like, one would think that it would be in the project bag with the with the second sock. Like, you finish the first sock, you put it in the bag. You get your ball for your second sock. You cast on your second sock, you put it in the bag. Everything is in the bag. That's why we have project bags. But this one, I don't know. I don't even know. So I'm going to have to put this one somewhere safe, so when I find the first one, I can put them together and then they can go live in my box of socks. Who loses a sock? Okay, so that's everything for finished objects. We will now work on or move on to works in progress. And I have two. One of them pretty much hasn't seen any action in the past couple weeks. I think the last episode, I want to say I was right before the heel, and that episode I think was 2 weeks ago. So I have now finished the heel on these socks and they're just sitting where they were. So this is them. These are my reading socks. Completely vanilla. The only thing different about this sock to my regular like vanilla socks is that I decided to do a German short row heel and do it all in garter stitch. So I've got a garter stitch German short row heel, and up until about 5 minutes before I started filming this, I didn't know where the first sock of this was either, but I found it. So this is what it's gonna look like when it's finished. Oh, and we're tangled. So there we go. 2 heels. I just have a foot and a toe left on this one. And yeah, the progress keeper I have living on here is my Max. Can you see him? You can kind of see him. I got him at Universal. And y'all, I feel like I'm all Grinched up today. It was not entirely on purpose, but I have Max on this work in progress. My next work in progress has Mr. Grinch on it. I'm of course wearing my Grinch shirt. This morning I was wearing my Grinch socks that I knit. This and my next work in progress are living in this project bag. You would think I have a very mild love of the Grinch. It's just a little love, just a little bit of love for Mr. Grinch. But yeah, so this is the cake that I'm working from. And I tried to make these socks like super long to use up as much of this yarn as possible. And I want to say the leg of this sock is like 80 rows, not counting the cuffs. So I knit my cuffs to 20 rows of knit to purl to. So essentially the leg of this sock is 100 rows long, I believe. So that's them. This yarn is actually really, really soft. It's, what's it called? I put the tag in the middle of the yarn cake and I don't want to take it out. What's it? It's Superba Bamboo Superba Bamboo Superwash. 50% virgin wool, 25% polyamide, 25% viscose. So it's very soft. Like, I really like this yarn. So depending on how much is left, I might be able to get like a shorty set with like contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, which would be pretty cool. Yeah. My next work in progress is a test knit that I'm doing. It is called the Take a Chance on Me wrap or shawl. Take a Chance on Me. And it is by Jennifer, also known as Yarn Tripping on Instagram. And the idea behind this shawl is it's a shawl or a wrap that you use your advent calendars, like your advent calendar mini skeins in. And because you don't know like what, you know, color you're going to get or whatever, you can do like one color a day if you knit fast. Some of the sections in here did take me quite a while, but that's just because I had difficulties counting and I was trying to do this at like midnight. No. But essentially you have 6 different stitch patterns and you roll a dice to see which order you knit these stitch patterns in. And I think that's a really cool idea. I really do like the surprise that I'm getting, because I don't know what each stitch pattern is going to look like. And I've knit 5 of the 6 so far. I have one more to knit before I know what they all look like. And it's been pretty cool. So I will show you. I'm in the middle. I'm one repeat into the 5th stitch pattern. So, and these are not in order like 1 to 6. So they're still surprised. So here we go. This one here is a color that I dyed myself. It's called Earthing. The next one is Burgundy. This is a Serenity sock. Who is that? Deborah Norville Serenity sock in the Burgundy colorway. This one is Navy, and this is Cascade Heritage sock. This is Painted Desert, and I think it's pronounced chamois. I'll write it at the bottom so that you can like, or it's gonna be on this side. One of these sides, I'll write it. You can tell me how to pronounce this. I think it's like chamois, not sure. This one is Snow Cone, and this is Lion Brand Sockies. And then the last one that I'm working is another Serenity sock, Deborah Norville Serenity sock. This one is called Teal Teas. And I'll show you the cake for this one because it's one of the self-patterning ones. So that's what it looks like. And I think it's kind of cool because, well, you can't see from there, but each one of the little self-patterning sections is giving like this really skinny stripe. So that's kind of fun. And this one started in almost the same color as this. So like that teeny tiny bit of different teal, that's where the Teal Teas starts. So that's that. And you can tell like this one here, either my gauge was super loose or something happened. But this navy blue section was the one that made me want to like stab my eyeballs out. Because I kept getting off count. Like, I don't know why. And it was one of those patterns that I couldn't memorize. I couldn't read my knitting to know what was coming next. I just had to follow the pattern. And every time I got to the end of the row and I was on like the wrong stitch count, I'd have to like tink back. I'm just glad that that pattern is done and I will only have to do it one more time throughout this shawl. So fingers crossed it comes up later, like towards the end. Like if this one was my last one that I had to do before I bound off, that would be great. But yeah, so this is almost half of the shawl. And so I have, how many is that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm on my 6th color, and so I have 6 remaining. I'll put up a picture of my full like color scheme. I'm making it all from stash, like leftovers from my stash, and leftovers and like bits that I pulled off. Like the Painted Desert one is from a skein that I haven't used yet, but I wanted something that was like muted. I didn't want to have anything that was like too bright or too poppy, because you don't know which order they're gonna go in. So that is Take a Chance on Me by Jennifer, aka Yarn Tripping on Instagram. And yeah, I'm excited to be done with this soon, so that I can like get on to other things, because this is a test knit that she wants to have out when people start getting their advent calendars on December 1st. Like I have like less than a week to finish this, so I'm going to be knitting on this like a mad woman. And that's all of my, oh, here's my Mr. Grinch. Can you see his little face? Kind of, sort of, but not. But that's all my works in progress. And I don't have any maker plans because this test knit is going to be my focus. So I guess we can just jump right into stashquisition. And guys, over the past 2 weeks, I have been quite the yarn, I don't want to say hoarder, I don't want to say stasher. Like, you know how like a hamster will go, like if you feed a hamster, right? They'll go and they'll get all the little food and like nuts and treats and stuff, and they shove them in their little cheek pockets, and then their cheeks are all full of snacks and treats. That's kind of what I feel like with my yarn right now. Like, I feel like over the past couple weeks, I've been like squirreling away little bits of yarn, and now like, I'm like, that's what I feel like on the inside. So, I was trying to think of which way I should do this. Let's start off first with the things that I just bought. So first, I finally got my hands on some DYENAMIXX Yarns. So this is their logo. This is the yarn company, the yarn dyeing company, owned by Mars and her daughter Adachi. Yes. Mars is also known as Hey Brownberry here on YouTube as well as on Instagram. And she and her daughter have started this dye company where they just have adventures in dyeing. And this is a naturally dyed sock yarn. It is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver selena, 440 yards to 100 grams, and it was dyed with pomegranate skins. I would not have guessed that pomegranate skins would give you like this gold color. And you can kind of see a little bit of the sparkle in there. Of course, when I saw this and I saw the color and the sparkle, I was just like, oh my gosh, I want that so bad. I love it. It's beautiful. And then I looked and the price was in my budget. Bruh. So I bought it super fast, right? Only to realize that the card that I had linked on my Etsy had expired. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So I'm like sending her frantic, like sending her, being Mars, frantic messages like, oh my gosh, I really want this yarn, but the card was expired and it's going to be declined and I really want it. How can we make this happen? So I ended up paying for it over PayPal. So crisis averted. I promptly went and fixed my card on Etsy though, so that I don't have this problem happen again. But I'm so excited about this yarn. And then shortly after that, actually I think it was last week, it was either last week or the beginning of this week, that Mars published her first sock pattern, and it's called the Pebbles and Pathways sock, and I think that this yarn wants to be those socks. I think that needs to happen, and so I need to go ahead and get that pattern. But this, I'm super excited that this is in my life. I kind of just want to like look at it for a while, but like, isn't that color really cool? And I feel like it's coming up true to color on the screen, like pomegranate skins, right? Nature is so fascinating. So that was the first kind of random purchase that I made. The next one that I'm going to show you, I'm pointing over here because I have a stack of yarn that is just making me so happy. The next skein of yarn that I purchased was from the Magical Fantasy Fiber Retreat Marketplace. I think I got it right. It is an annual like fiber retreat that is put on by one of my local yarn shops called Four Pearls. And while I don't go to the retreat, they do open the marketplace up to the public. I went last year, which was really cool. And then this year, I was super excited to go because Stranded Dyeworks is going to be there. And I watch her podcast. I've watched her podcast for like a few years now. And it was just like, because she's a UK dyer, my budget is not quite set up to be ordering stuff from the UK. So I was super excited that she was going to have her yarn there so that I could see it in real life and like maybe buy some. Like I was really like, okay, Kalisha, we really want to leave with a skein of Stranded. Like that was my goal. So I go in, and first of all, the marketplace was bigger than last year. And it was just like a little bit overwhelming, if I'm honest. So if you do find yourself in Florida around this time of year, you can check out that marketplace as well. But I did come away with a skein of Stranded, and I'm stupid excited about it. So this is her Merino DK base, 100% superwash Merino DK in the Koi colorway. Look at it. And okay, so this is one of those things where they're just like, when they say you see something online and it looks one way and then you like see it in real life and it's different. I always thought that all of these like dark speckles were black, and a lot of them are black, but I think that, okay, here we go. There's also purple in there, which I did not know was there. So I'm so excited to have this skein of yarn. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have already seen, like I posted about it, how when I first started watching Amy's podcast, I went to her Etsy shop, and this was years ago. I'd gone to her Etsy shop and I was looking at her yarns and I was like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. There was this colorway, Koi, and she had a green. I don't remember what it was called, but I don't think she dyes it much anymore. But Koi and that green colorway were like my favorites, right? I was like, if ever I buy Stranded, you know, Dyeworks, I'm gonna buy the Koi colorway. And so when I got there, you know, I'm like looking at all these colors, and I was really drawn to the, I think it's Ocean Rainbow and Naive Watercolor. And they're very like blue based with like those watery colors, you know, that I'm very much drawn to. And I was like, oh, I really like those. But I kept looking back over at Koi. And so I had to go with it. I had to buy the Koi because I knew if I bought something else, I was going to be like, I should have got Koi. I'm so excited. So now I need to figure out what I want to do with it. I'm thinking a hat. The hat that I'm wearing, which you can't really see because it's being blown out, but the hat that I'm wearing is a design of my own. It's called the Braiding Party hat, And I think I might be able to get a braiding party hat out of this. I'm going to have to do some like internet research to see how this knits up in cables, like if you'll still be able to see the cables with the speckling. If so, I might do something like that. I'm also kind of wanting to crochet with it because crochet is my first love, and I kind of want to like really like infuse that like happiness that crochet brings me into whatever I make out of this yarn, because I feel like this is so special because it came from all the way over in the UK. What? Great yarn dyed in Great Britain. Yes, it is. So that I'm so excited about it. So not only did I get this at the marketplace or in the marketplace, I also got an enamel pin. I got my first Shelli.Can pin, and it's this one. It's the Yarn Snitch. So I'm excited to add this to my collection along with my stranded. Oh, I did forget something else. So when I got the yarn from Mars, the sparkly pomegranate one, she also sent me an enamel pin. She sent me a Ninja Chickens pin. And this is the enamel pin from Maria of Ninja Chickens. She has a podcast here on YouTube, which I'm going to try to remember to link everybody's podcasts and Etsy shops and everything down below. If I forget somebody or I miss something out, please leave a comment so that I can fix it, because there's about to be like so many links needed. But yeah, Ninja Chickens. Her enamel pin is so stinking cute. It's like a chicken sitting on eggs, and there's like a yarn ball. Like that's a little yarn ball in the nest as well. So sweet. What's next? So those are the things that I purchased. Yes. Alright, so the next thing that I want to share with you guys is, guys, there's just so much. I feel a little bit like a glutton. A little bit. But I know that I'm going to create such lovely things from like all of this yarn that it's just making me like giddy on the inside. Like, and nobody really in my immediate like life, like my immediate real life, understands this giddiness. So that's what you guys are here for. That you can be like oohing and eyeing over these beautiful yarns with me, and I don't feel like the crazy little girl sitting in her bedroom recording a video while her family is like watching sports, because that's really what's happening right now. But I did get some happy mail. I got this from Zakiya of the Ladywing Crafts podcast. And was it spring? I think it was, yes, it was this past spring that she had the spring garment cow, and I participated in that, and I won a prize. And I was just recently able to get it. And look at those colors. Like, all of that is neon green. Like, this is from Happy Little Yarn. And it is the Cactus Bloom colorway. It's 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and it's so cool. I don't have many speckles in my stash, so this is, I don't know what to do with it. Like, what do you do with like this highly speckled yarn? Comments below, help me out. But I'm excited about this yarn. It's like, it's got, of course, that neon green. It's got purple speckles, blue speckles, red, or that might be orange. Red-orange speckles. I think that's it. And then, of course, those big stretches of bare yarn. it's so fascinating, like, to look at how different people interpret colors and apply colors to yarn. It's like really cool to see. So yes, Zakiya also sent over some face scrubbies that she made herself. So I've got 3. Yes, I have 3 face scrubbies. And fun fact, when I opened up the bag, these kind of scared me because I didn't realize, like, I didn't know, of course I didn't know anything else was going to be in there. I knew that she was sending the yarn because she showed it on her podcast, but she didn't mention these. So when I opened it and I saw like something like fuzzy and yellow, my brain like automatically thought it was like a giant spider or something like that. I don't know. Do you know any giant fuzzy yellow spiders? I don't either. But I have these. I'm going to try these out because we got to get this skin right. Got to get the skin right for the holidays. Is that everything? Yes. Okay. So, the next section of my stash acquisitions is get your yarn wishes granted. I think it might still be like slowly continuing on. So get your yarn wishes granted is a like a yearly kind of kindness campaign that happens on Instagram where there's an image that you post, and when you post that image with the hashtag, the rules are that you go through the hashtag, you find someone who is wishing for something that you can grant for them. So say somebody is wishing for a skein of woolies, right? Then I can tell that person, hey, I can grant your wish. They'll send me their information. I mail them off their wish. They're happy because I have granted a wish. I then am able to wish for something myself. So I think I granted 10 wishes this year, and I specifically was looking for people wishing for project bags because that's something that I make like regularly. So it was something that was like feasible for me to do quickly, right? So I granted some wishes for project bags. I granted some wishes for yarn. I granted a wish for a pair of 9-inch circulars because we all know, well, if you're new, you don't know the struggle I had. But I had quite the struggle with trying to learn how to knit with 9-inch circulars, which, funny story, I wished for them last year for Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Someone granted me that wish. I struggled learning to use them. And then I put them, like, I was like, can't do it. My fingers don't want to work with this. Why am I still holding this yarn? My fingers don't want to work with these needles. It's making knitting frustrating. If somebody else wishes for a pair of 9-inch circulars, I'm granting that wish. And sure enough, somebody wished for 9-inch circulars. I was like, bet, I got you, homie. Let me send you these needles. So they're like the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted traveling needle set. But, so yeah, I granted a wish for the ZZ Twist yarn. So I was able to go out and purchase some yarn for a person on Instagram. And I also sent her the leftovers from my first Harvest Moon pullover. What else did I grant? I think that was it, really. Yeah, I think that was it. So the main thing that I was wishing for were minis, because I want to have them for like heels, toes, and cuffs. My idea or my desire at the beginning of this was to be able to put together an advent calendar for myself. So I was gonna like do like a DIY like advent calendar. So I was like, okay, I wish for minis in, you know, like 20 gram minis, because I was thinking, okay, whatever people are, if anyone is able to grant this wish, I can put together my little advent calendar, and I'll have these yarns for like heels, toes, and cuffs, or scrappy socks, or anything like that. So there were three people who have granted my wish for minis, and I'm super excited about what they were able to send me because they were so cool. Like the first one, and I'm gonna show it to you on this tray because the lady messaged me, her name was Sue, and she was like, can you use, I think, 10-gram minis? And I was like, sure. I mean, because I don't really have a strict plan for these, but I know with 10 grams I can get, I think, cuffs and toes or heels and toes. I can't do heels, cuffs, and toes, but 2 out of 3, I think. And she was like, okay, so I'm going to send you some of these gumballs. And I was like, all right. So I was not expecting this. This is what she sent me. Aren't they beautiful? Like, I have a full rainbow. So you know these are not going to be heels, toes, and cuffs. These are going to be a pair of socks. And I have 2 skeins of this teal color, or 2 little minis of this teal color. So what I figure is this is going to be the sock, and then this will be the heels and toes.
You want this? Huh? Do you want some turkey? Yeah? Yeah? You want some of this?
So it's not dinner. You want some nothing?
Okay guys, I'm back. We had to stop for Thanksgiving dinner. It was delicious. My husband is quite the foodie. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Now I'm full and I can probably take a nap, but I have more goodies to show you. So I was just talking about these and how this is going to be like heels and toes, or cuffs and toes, or something like that. And then this is going to be the sock, the body of the sock. So I might end up doing like afterthought heels. Maybe. We haven't thought this process out or anything. I just know that these colors are too gorgeous not to be next to each other. So, and they're so cool. These are all, let me find one where you can see the label really well. These are all knitted with gumballs, and they are 100% superwash merino, 45 yards. So I think that's like 10 grams. So the colors are just so great. I'm so excited about these. So yay! So that was my first wish granted from Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. And then I got, put everything back in that tray I dished out. I got another pack of minis. And these, let me show you. These, okay, you know sometimes you say like, I want a set of minis, or I want a mini skein. You're thinking like, you know, 10, 20 grams, right? I don't know who makes minis this big, but this person, this is Genesis. She sent me 4. Yeah, she sent me 4 minis and some tea, because you gotta have your tea. Yes, she sent me 4 minis, and these are all like yarns that I haven't tried before. Well, one of them is one that I have, but this one here, this is Miss Babs Hot Shot in Petrified Forest, and it's 49 grams. So definitely enough for a full pair of socks. This one is Hedgehog Fibers in the Urchin colorway, and this is 45 grams. So that's really pretty. I feel like someone in some podcasts that I watched recently used urchin in something. Not sure, but that's really pretty. This one is Yarn Cafe Creations in the Selkie colorway, and this is on Fluffy Sock, and this is 35 grams. So cool. Excuse me. And this is the last one. She wrote in her note what this is. This is Lorna's Laces in the Shepherd Sock Multi in Hampstead. I think that's the colorway, Hampstead. So look at that. And this, she didn't put how much was left in this. So let's just weigh it real quick and find out. Grams. So this is 20 grams of Lorna's Laces in the Shepherd Sock Multis colorway, or Shepherd Sock Multis base in Hampstead. So these are my minis from Genesis. So pretty. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have so many awesome speckly socks. Put those over there with its yarny friends. Okay, the next ones I can't exactly show you because this is Alice. She actually sent them to me for an advent calendar, so she wrapped them so that they'll be a surprise. And here they are, and it is taking so much self-control not to open these. Like, ooh, I just want to open them, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep them wrapped up until Christmas. Like, they're gonna be one of my like Christmas, like open on Christmas things. So I'm excited about those. And I think that's everything. That's not everything for Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Where did I put it? I wished for, here it is. I wished for the Yarn Bliss pin from Nerdbird Makery, and I was granted that one. So, oh my gosh. Of course you guys can see why I love this little girl. Like, I need to get the tote bag of this design. And she also does like greeting cards, like a set of greeting cards, and I figure I can get the greeting cards and like frame one of them, because that would be a really pretty art print. I don't know if she has art prints of these, who knows, but I love it. I am so grateful for all of the wishes that were granted to me this year. It was just so awesome. Also along the lines of Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, one of the wishes that I granted was for some stitch markers. And of course, me being like the overzealous person I am, I was like, oh, I'm gonna make some clay stitch markers. So I tried my hand at it. It's a lot more difficult than it appears to be. So this is what I made. It's a little ice cream cone, and it actually looks pretty good on the camera. So got a little burn spot there because I kind of forgot it was in the oven cooking. So what I'm gonna do is paint over it with like maybe some nail polish or something to give it a little sparkle. But I have that one, and then I also made these little peppermint candies, which kind of look a little bit like a struggle bus. And I also made this little chocolate. This looks like dark chocolate. It's really not that dark, but I made a little chocolate bar with a little bite taken out of it. And yeah, so those are the little clay stitch markers that I made, or progress keepers that I made. I can pretty much confidently say that polymer clay stitch markers, not something that I'm going to be making. So there's that. But I think that's everything for Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Just so awesome. The fiber community is just so amazing. It's so much fun to be a part of this community also. Okay. We're almost to the end of Stash Traditions, y'all. Thank you for hanging in here with me. Now, the next bag that I have is from last Friday. So last Friday was what, the 16th? 15th or 16th, something like that. I met up with Clarisabeth of Crochet Cakes, Caroline of Mind and Muse, and Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. And it was crazy fun. Like, at first I was really nervous to meet them because I'm always really nervous to meet anybody. Like, I legit had a dream that I met them and they didn't like me. And like, that's how like caught up in like anxiety and stuff that I get like in my head, right? But it was so pleasant. We met at a coffee shop and basically sat there for a couple hours talking and knitting and crocheting, and then we went to 2 different yarn shops in the area, and then after that we went to like get a bite to eat at this taco place. We spent time there chatting and talking and just getting to know one another, and it was just such a pleasant experience. Like, just getting together with someone in real life that understands like these yarny things that we're also in love with, right? So, of course, when you go to a yarn shop with yarny friends, you have to buy things. Well, you don't have to buy things. You more than likely will buy things. So I do have a couple purchases I want to show you. And then another pleasant surprise was the like yarny gift exchange that happened. I was not expecting to get anything out of this, but I definitely took some like so excited to get to know you gifts. I made these little progress keepers that I like watercolored little galaxies on. Of course I didn't take any pictures of these things because I decided to do it that morning. So I have one more like progress keeper back that I used, so I'm probably gonna make one for myself, and if you follow me on Instagram you'll see that whenever it's finished. But yeah, so I got some goodies from the ladies and I will show you those, and then I'll show you what I purchased at the yarn stores. So these are from Hannah. She gave me 2 mandalas. And this one, I was super excited to get another one of because I used this in my, what was it called? Pinwheel sweater? Whatever it was a sweater that I made for Zakiya's summer or spring garment cowl that did not go well. So I'm excited to try this yarn in a different project that hopefully I will be able to wear because that sweater was ridiculous. And then I also have this, this colorway is called Spirit. Yeah, this is the Spirit colorway. And this is, how do you say this word? Can you see it right there? Is it Chimera? I think it's Chimera? Chimera? That's what I'm going to go with. But that's what this one looks like. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I do have another ball that's similar to this, but I don't think it's the same colorway. But I am going to double check that. If it is the same colorway, then hooray. If not, then I think they complement each other or they go together nicely, as I'm remembering. But as I don't have a plan for either one of those yet anyway, we're just gonna let them hang out in the stash for a while. Hannah also gave me this washi tape, and it's adulting washi tape. Like, it says like adulting all over the place. I'm done adulting, let's be unicorns. I adulted today. Like, this is like me all the time. When I'm at work, I'm just like, gotta be an adult, gotta do the things. And sometimes I do get to that point where I'm like, I'm done adulting, I just want to be a unicorn. And then the last couple things Hannah gave me, she gave me this, a Christmas tree ornament, like cross stitch set. So this is definitely going to be one of my crafts during Vlogmas, because I am going to do Vlogmas. That's the plan. And she also gave me a little tin container to hold the goodies in. So I love these little containers because I always use them for like tapestry needles, stitch markers, like all the little notion-y type things that would get lost otherwise. I put them in these. And her goodies came in this bag. And this little packet is from Clarisabeth and Caroline. And this is a bag from Clarisabeth. She painted it herself. It is so pretty. And it has her label on the back, which is really nice. I really like that label. So yeah, let's see what's in here. Oh, and look at the inside of this fabric. That is so much fun, right? I love it. And it's like a bunch of my favorite colors too. So this is what I got from them. I got the bag and this yarn. Now let me show you the picture that this yarn was inspired by. Okay? That's like dead on, right? Love it. So of course when I first saw this yarn, I thought mint chocolate chip, right? I want to say this is 50 grams and 20. Let's consult the good old scale. Yep, this is 20 grams and 50. I was right. So this is perfect for a sock set. And yeah, I love it. I love it. So many goodies, so many good memories. Just, it was really, really awesome to meet them. And I'm going to put a picture up of all four of us. It was just such a great day. And I didn't expect it to be like an all day thing, but we literally like spent the whole day together, which was like really awesome. So if any of you guys are watching, Hannah, I know you watch, Clarisabeth and Caroline, thank you so much for being so kind and for coming up and visiting. Thank you for like inviting me into your circle. I just really, really felt loved and welcomed. So thank you. My universe is expanding. So these are the two skeins of yarn that I got from the yarn shops that we visited. Now I think you've heard me talk about these before. Of course, yeah, because I go to these often. This yarn is Remix Light. I got this from Knit Longwood. That's one of my absolute favorite yarn shops in the area. This yarn is 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen. I got this because I have another skein of the same type of yarn in a gold color, and I think the two of them together would be, one, really pretty, and two, enough for me to create like a whole something. I'm thinking probably a shawl. It's super soft, the first skein that I got it from Bet Bornside Yarn Co. in New Orleans. And she told me that when you block this yarn, it like blooms and it's really soft and really drapey. So I'm excited to actually get into trying it. So yeah, there's that. And then the next shop we went to was the Knitting Patch. And that is also in Longwood. And I got this. This is Malabrigo Sock in the Light of Love colorway. And as you can see, it is like fantastic pink. It's not as day glow as it appears on the camera. That light is kind of blowing it out a bit. But I decided to get this pink because if you watch Hannah's podcast, the Cozy Cottage Crochet, you will know that she's currently like having a pink moment where she's like loving all things pink. So when I saw this yarn, I thought it would be really nice to make like a pair of souvenir socks, almost like that time I met all the internet people and they were really cool socks, and I would use this color. So I have to decide if I want to do a solid, like a, what do you call it, like a vanilla sock or some sort of pattern sock. Who knows, but it's going to be something reminiscent of that day. And I think, guys, we finally made it to the end. I think that is all of my stash acquisitions. Yeah, I think that's everything. So I don't have a Black Fibers, Black Thread section this week, but what I do have is a blurb about Quirky Monday Crafts, my Etsy shop. So, as you know, because today is Thanksgiving, that means tomorrow is Black Friday, and as is customary, we're having a sale. And the sale that I am putting on, everything in my shop is going to be 25% off, and then there's no coupon needed, so everything will be marked down. And then if you spend $30 or more, you get free shipping. So there you go. Currently up in the shop are all of my fall theme bags. I am in the process of sewing up the Harry Potter and the Black Panther bags, and I have recently gotten the fabric for my fall or my winter bag. So those will all go up in the shop ASAP. This 25% sale is going to go until December 8th. So if there's anything that you're wanting, do drop by the shop, pick it up. Keep a look at my Instagram, because whenever I do upload, or whenever I do upload the fandom bags, I will post about it on Instagram so you know. And then when I post the winter bags, I will post about those on Instagram so you know. So if you're not following me, definitely do that. Keep a lookout for those new bags. Check out the shop. If you favorite it, you will get notifications whenever I put in new products or anything like that. And yes, that brings me to the end, to life and whatnot. I already told you guys about meeting the other crochet ladies. That I think was the highlight of that week, and that was on last Friday. And then last Saturday, Lamar and I went to go see The Grinch. We went to go see the new Grinch movie. It was delightful. I really enjoyed it. I am kind of a Grinch, like, I won't say snob, but I didn't like the live action Grinch because it deviated so much from the classic story. So I was just like, don't like this. But I'm gonna watch it again this year and like give it another try, and maybe I'll like it more now. Who knows? But the new animated Grinch movie was really, really nice. I liked it. It was not the exact traditional story, but it wasn't so far different from the traditional story that I was just like, what the heck is this? Yeah, I really liked it. Definitely will be purchasing it when it comes out on DVD because of I have a collection. I have a collection of Grinch toys, Grinch shirts, the Grinch movies. I am here for Mr. Grinch. I need to make plans to get to Grinchmas this year so that I can take another picture with Mr. Grinch, because this is who I am. This is who I am. What else? I feel like in the last couple episodes I had been saying, oh, Christmas is coming for the studio. Christmas is so here. Christmas is all up in the building in JCPenney portraits. Like, and that means we're just taking Christmas pictures all the time. The mall has the Christmas music playing, the Christmas trees are up. It is full on Christmas. And that also brings 6 children. And one day I won't be sick, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like any child that is sick that comes into the studio manages to figure out some way to cough in my face or sneeze in my face or pick their nose and touch me, or something disgusting happens to me. And my poor little immune system just cannot get a leg up. And I am just sick all the time. Just sick. Like, last Monday I was in bed all day, which is why this podcast which is why I missed recording last week, because the day I was going to record, I was sick in bed all day long. I was too sick to knit. Like, too sick to crochet. Too sick to knit. What is that? Kids are gross. One day I won't be sick. It'll probably happen in February. It's been stupid busy at work, like double booked every 15 minutes, all day long type days. And just, it takes so much energy out of me that when I get off work, I just want to be quiet and like crawl under the covers and not come out. Like, tomorrow morning I have to be at work at 9, and because it's Black Friday, we have specials going on in the studio, so people are like trying to rush to get pictures done, and of course people want things done by Christmas, and everybody wants something, and everybody is in a hurry, and everybody is in a rush, and it just makes for a very, very pressure filled environment. And like, I just wish people would take a step back and really look at like the people who are in like service industries and retail industries. Like, we're doing the best that we can. Okay? We are still people, you know, like, especially from, you know, my experience in the portrait studio. People will do things like, you know, complain about, you know, how long it takes, you know, a session to have somebody else's session, you know, but when it's their turn to be in the studio or in the camera room, they want you to take your time, you know. They want you to make sure that you get that 3-month-old baby to smile. Chances are that's not going to happen, first of all. But, you know, they bring their preteen son in who's just angry at the world, and he doesn't want to smile, and they want you to keep taking the picture until he decides to smile. And it's just like, come on, people. Like, take a step back and really look at what you're wanting and what you're saying and the way that you're treating people. That's all I'm saying. You know, people can be very nasty and very rude, and it's difficult to interact or to have that rudeness thrown at you. And I'm speaking from experiences of this week. you know, to have that rudeness or that nastiness thrown at you and then have to turn right around and make somebody smile. Like, that's ridiculous. I definitely had moments in this past week where I was just like, no, I'm done. I'm done. Like, I wanted to walk out of the studio and just be like, figure it out. I'm done. But I don't know. I have to remind myself of things that I enjoy about this job, and it gets very, very hard to remember things that I enjoy about the job when the things that I enjoy, like the creativity and the artistic like expression that I get to take advantage of when I'm taking these pictures and I'm posing these pictures, when we don't have time for that luxury. Like, I don't have time in the camera room for the luxury of creativity. I literally take the same poses over and over again all day long. That's it. So I'm already feeling the Christmas burnout, and it's not even December yet. Like, I was feeling the Christmas burnout 2 weeks ago. Like, I described to one of my friends that I feel like a candle that is being lit at both ends with a blowtorch. That's what I feel like. So, if you're going to get your like family pictures taken in any kind of portrait studio during the holiday season, be nice to your photographer, because chances are they are being stretched way further than they should be, and it's a lot more stressful of an environment for your photographer than you know. So be nice. And on that note, I am going to go ahead and sign off. I've been sitting here on the bed crisscross applesauce for way too long, and my hips are starting to hurt because I'm an old lady on the inside. I'm going to go and hang out with my family for a bit. They're probably still watching football. Also, I am just now finding out that it's like a tradition for the Cowboys and the Redskins to play on Thanksgiving. I just thought that was something clever that just so happened today. Nope, it's a regular thing. Who doesn't watch football? This girl. But yeah, I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope you're having a good beginning to the holiday season if you celebrate these holidays. If not, I hope you had a wonderful Thursday, and I hope you have a great Friday, and I hope this weekend is just a really good experience for you. Keep sending positive energy my way, because no sleep till January in my world. No sleep till January. Pray church. Oh my. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming to hang out with me. Leave some comments down below of positive things that happened to you over the past 2 weeks, so that we can all take in that positivity and celebrate these things with each other. And thank you so much for being part of my universe. Bye!